Thanks for tuning in. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the Varney Southern Pacific in HO. Gordon Varney brought this engine out at the end of 1937, about November. A nicely designed engine. It was one of the two engines that Gordon came out with. Here's a catalog showing the consolidation, and then the Southern Pacific up here. These were not cheap. This was $35.50 for a kit, including the tender. So that was a comparable price to the Lionel 763E Hudson. So this was pretty expensive stuff. The engine here has full suspension. You can see it rocks quite a bit, which is kind of unique. It has a brass boiler, nicely detailed here. Nice Vanderbilt tender. We're running with a 6-volt motor. That was standard at the time. So you got a basic brass casting, which didn't have a whole lot of detail. So it's up to the builder to augment that. Here's one of the original boxes from 1938. Nice artistic here, and advertising that Varney has 2 locomotives and 30 cars. So they had the Pacific and the consolidation at this time. Here are 2 of the passenger cars that they came out with. They offered them in Pennsylvania red, or New York Central, or Pullman green. These have kind of like a plastic side, wood top, wood bottom, die-cast trucks. And you can kind of see the very primitive coupler that Varney had at this time. They would change that in 1940 when the line did some remodeling. 1937, end of 37, 38, the HO market was pretty much wide open, and Mantua and Varney were going kind of head to head. So this engine would fly. But by the end of 38, you had the die-cast American Flyer Hudson, and then the Knapp engine, which were selling for less than half the price of this. So by 1940, Gordon Varney had to up his game a little bit. So he remodeled the engine here. Now it's a white metal or a lead boiler, and you can see much more detail has been added with the bands here, some extra piping to make it easier for the modeler, who didn't necessarily have the talent to add that all himself. This was the brass tender that they offered, just flat brass post where they would make something like this, but would add some rivets. The Pacific turned out to be very popular. So this is this one here is end of 37, 38, 39, and then they bring out this version in 40 and 41. Of course, everything ends for World War II. Gordon went all in on the government contracts, and it wasn't until 1948 that he brought back out the Pacific in the post-war version. Here you have, he offered in 2 versions, the deluxe or special one, which had the Lindsay motor and the suspension, and then this is just the plain one, solid, but now it's a 12-volt motor, and it uses the later more detailed boiler, and they ran this engine in their catalogs at least up until the mid-50s. Very, very popular engine. They sold an awful lot of the popular post-war version ones. The pre-war versions like this are pretty hard to find, just because of the cost was incredibly expensive. Varney would sell you a built-up one like this. It was $75 in 1938. So that was same price as a Lionel 700E at the time, which was a lot of money for an HO engine. So thank you very much for watching. We'll let it run around one more time. Thank you. There you can see it start up. It starts up quite nicely. And that's a 6-volt motor. So if you get one of these, you can't run it on a conventional DC transformer, you have to run it on a variable. I'm running it on a lab generator. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe.